as ensuring independence of legal professions is essential when the rule of law is under threat. I truly believe that addressing the democratic backsliding and upholding fundamental rights requires the collaboration between various stakeholders, including legal professionals, regulatory bodies, and public institutions, civil society, and many more. Therefore, the event organized today by CCBE, which allows for looking at these challenges from various perspectives, is very relevant.
We are indeed living in fast-changing times, and we are confronted with numerous challenges: the rise of disinformation and interference by hostile actors, backsliding of the rule of law, lack of trust in our democratic institutions and the justice system, and in a society which is increasingly digital. No sector of society can remain untouched by these developments, and so it is important that we all try to stay ahead of the curve.
Digitalization of justice is now part of the ecosystem now. Justice professionals need to stay up to that challenge and invest in training, invest in digital skills, and to adapt to the complexity of this environment and also of the legal framework. In any case, the active involvement of the CCBE has always been very much appreciated, and in the training of lawyers, and we count on continuing this cooperation with you to make sure that the legal professions are up to speed on their adaptation to this new environment.
It seems self-evident that there is a link between the core values of the justice system: independence, quality, accountability, and effective access and money investment in the judicial system. So sort of diving into the CCBE statistics, they show that judicial salaries in Europe over the last 10 years have in fact, if anything, been decreasing in line with average incomes in those states. They are just not keeping a line with inflation. Again, look at CCBE statistics. So the number of physical courthouses and courtrooms continues to decrease in Europe, but many states have been deploying digital tools, so online hearings, and also digital storage of documents to compensate for the lack of premises. Digital access obviously has a cost and needs an upfront investment, but it can save a lot of money in the long run. But nonetheless, across all countries, I'd say the average budget dedicated to IT systems for the judicial system is increasing, but still represents really quite a small portion, only about 5% of judicial budget.
In terms of judicial budget, staff, access to justice, efficiency of courts, and availability of information technology. The report finds that in the majority of the countries surveyed, spending on justice is relatively low, averaging 0.31% of GDP. On average, countries spend 85.4 per capita on justice, with the richest country spending over 200 euros.
The principles of democracy and the rule of law go hand in hand, in particular in the European Union. It's under threat, both inside and outside the Union. And it's also being threatened not only by public actors, but also by private actors. I think it's important for us all that we keep mobilized. And I welcome that you took the initiative to have this debate, because I think it is an important issue for us all. Everybody involved in the legal profession should be concerned about the recent developments.
We have a couple of years ago, we did a survey amongst the general population in the European Union about perception of independence of the judiciary, and 1/4 of EU citizens felt that in their country the judge could not work without political interference. So 1/4. In some countries, it was actually 50% that had that perception. So obviously, there's an issue there to be addressed.
Whichever rule of law dysfunction may arise at the legislative or execution level should overstep the judge's authority. In the Convention's terms, this is the essence of subsidiarity. Insofar as such dysfunction and abnormalities successfully find a wall in the domestic court judgment, but in order to do so, national judges have to be equipped with adequate safeguards for the protection of their judicial independence and autonomy.
I want to take this opportunity to express the CCB's unwavering support for all European institutions, and we stand ready to work with you to strengthen justice across Europe. As legal professionals and institutions, we must continue to advocate for justice as critical infrastructure, deserving of long-term investment and protection from political interference. That was a key point in our CCB manifesto before the elections.